Welcome back to Rose Driven Rides. Today we got Casey, a special guest here. My son, welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep. And he's going to talk to us today about his car that he just bought, a 2024 Acura
Integra Type S.
Type S. So Casey, what brought you to the decision to even buy the Acura? Like, can you talk us through what you were driving before, or
Yeah, so I initially started off with a 2013 GTI. It's the Mark 6. I had that for about a year or two and had some water pump issues and stuff, so I sold that. Bought a 2021 WRX, which that was fun for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I just want something faster. Didn't have to mod it at all. You know, it just came out the door, just perfect as is.
Yeah.
So I ended up looking around. I test drove a bunch of cars: Tesla Model 3, Audi S3, Audi S4, Mustang Mach 1, the S650 Mustang.
Jeez.
Tested all of it.
Yeah.
And then finally, the last car I drove was the Integra Type S, and it was just perfect from the get-go. They had like a little course there at the dealership with some curves and stuff, and it was awesome. It's front-wheel drive, but it drove like it was all-wheel drive.
Oh,
Drove like my WRX.
Yeah.
It was so cool, super quick. It's super nice inside too. It's Acura too, so you know it's reliable.
Yeah,
and it checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
You know, with the WRX, you didn't some reliability stuff to worry about, but the Acura, it's perfect.
Now, was your WRX a standard transmission because your Acura is?
Yep, yeah. So they're both manual, but the WRX did not have rev match, but the Integra does.
Yeah, that has been kind of neat that you've shown me how that works, and we'll show you too here in just a minute how that works. But so when you were looking at these different cars, like, was the price point way different from like your WRX, like, or and if it was, did it justify the difference?
Yeah, so they were all the cars I looked at were about the 45 to 60,000 range. The WRX, when I got it, was 32 or 33, I think, the way it was packaged as a premium.
Yeah.
But yeah, the price definitely is justified, I think, at least with the amenities it comes with, and then just the experience of it too.
And how was your car buying experience compared to like looking at other cars like the Supra or?
Yeah, so the Supra, that was tough. I tried to test drive the Supra, couldn't get one though. Just dealing with Toyota in general was kind of a hassle because they have all those dealer markups. Although Honda does to some extent, but Acura not as much.
Yeah.
But they're much easier to work with by far. The salesman I worked with for my Integra knew everything about the car too, super knowledgeable.
Oh, nice.
The salesman I worked with the other cars, they didn't really know much what was going on.
Yeah,
like, it's a fast car, it's cool,
right.
and that's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and paid $10,000 extra. Yeah, and it's just kind of a pain working with them.
Yeah. So, like and then how would you, like, now that you've had a Subaru and a Volkswagen, now you're in this Acura, how would you rate like just your dealership experience, or like how they handle you, your service is like, I don't know. I guess when I hear Acura, I think also luxury or like a elevated service. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. So they treat you pretty well, at least at the dealership that I go to. Yeah, they're super friendly. The service person that I talk to, they know as soon as I call them, they're like, "Hey, Killian, what's up? How's it going?"
Cool.
You know, they know me right off the bat.
Yeah.
They're super friendly. Whenever I need service done, they get an appointment like immediately. Like before I came up here, I got my maintenance done literally the next day. I called them Friday afternoon.
Dang.
Saturday morning I was in.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's been awesome.
Yeah.
I will say Subaru was really good about it too.
Okay.
Volkswagen was expensive with their stuff, and they're not as good to work with, but Subaru was actually pretty decent as well.
So if someone's looking for a car in that same range and you're like, oh, you know, would you ever guide somebody back towards the Subaru, or would you like, nah, I think you probably should?
I think it also depends on what your needs are, because I think if you're going to be in like a snowy area too, lean more towards the WRX. It's all-wheel drive. It's consistent.
Okay.
You know, it's known for that for a reason,
Yeah,
and it's still a fun car too.
Yeah.
And especially if you have the time and some money to put into it as well to make it faster, which you can. Then definitely go that route. But if you want something that's nicer from the get-go, and maybe it's a little bit more sunny weather, you're not dealing with those winter conditions as much, then I'd say lean more towards the Type S.
Does the Type S have an all-wheel drive version or anything?
No,
like that?
so it's only front-wheel drive.
Oh, it's just front-wheel drive. Okay. All right. So, you know, I guess the big thing here is like always horsepower.
Yep.
How does it feel when you drive it? Like exhaust note,
Oh,
all the good stuff. Yeah,
it's all awesome.
So start from the front and work your way back. Like, what are we talking about horsepower?
So horsepower, I think it's 315, 320, if I remember right. It's the same engine as the Civic Type R, but tuned up like just like 10 horsepower.
Oh, okay.
If that, like barely anything. Same thing with the torque. I think torque's also 315, 320. It pretty much equal.
Yeah.
Also, like the Type same engine, so it's just tuned up just a little bit. If you do have a Type R, you can get it tuned to get up to that point.
Yeah.
Also, the suspension is softer in the Integra Type S since it is more luxury.
Yeah.
But that is just a module you can take out. It's like by the back left seat.
Okay.
You just pop open a little port, take it out, and swap it out.
For the
Type R.
Oh,
so if you want the softer suspension
Yeah.
and you have the Civic Type R,
Yeah.
you pop it out and you just switch it.
So you just go back and
Yep,
forth. I
it's all
guess.
just computer.
Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty convenient.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. And then it has a limited slip front differential, so that's why when you're driving around, it's even though it is front wheel drive, 300 some horsepower,
Yeah.
it's still pretty consistent. Getting off the line can be a little tough sometimes just because some wheel hop, just because front wheel drive.
Yeah.
But once you're at the end of first and the rest of the gears, you're fine. There's
Yeah.
no.
You know, I think what I noticed, we've been driving, of course, is that second gear turbo pull.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, when you hit it, it's just like
it's instant.
God.
It is awesome.
like that push in your seat.
It's addicting.
Oh my
It is
gosh,
addicting.
it's like more of that. Or like when we got on the freeway, second and third both, it was just like a freight train just kept pulling it through.
Yeah, all the way to the end too.
Yeah.
There's not like so like the WRX at the last 500 to 1,000, there's nothing. You may as well just shift it early,
Okay.
because then you could stay in the turbo range a little better. But with the Integra, you redline it and shift it, and it's perfect.
And the turbo noise in the car, how is that coming across? Do you hear it?
So you can hear it with the
Turbo
windows
whistle, I
up.
guess is what
Yeah,
it's called. Yeah.
When you have the windows up, it's kind of hard to hear. If you have the window down, it's super loud.
Oh,
I think that's just because of the noise insulation in the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the Integra Type S keeps all the noise insulation from the normal Integra.
Oh,
They
okay.
didn't cut any of it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit quieter.
Getting that, I guess you're still getting that luxury car feel.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
what they're going for too, was
okay.
that like you still feel like you're in a nice luxury car,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's got that sports
Yeah.
feel to it as well.
I'll say, like, the day I drove it, I drove it by myself for a day. We went and got his windows tinted, and the amount of attention I got in this thing was ridiculous. Like,
Oh, it's
people
insane.
asking me answers I don't have, so I
Yeah.
just made it up. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Just crazy. A twin turbo,
Supercharged.
supercharged. yeah, nitrous from the factory, that kind of thing. But it's a very popular car. Like, and to be honest, yours is the first I've seen in person.
They're pretty rare.
Like, I don't really see him on the road at all.
Yeah, no.
Is it because it's new, or is it?
Yeah, so it did just come out in June.
Okay.
So it's only a couple months old, but also just because it is Acura, they make less cars because it's a luxury one. And then the Type S, they're going to make even less of.
Yeah.
But one bonus is that it's manufactured in the States, in Ohio.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So if you're looking for that engine, that feel that engine, Civic Type R, Integra Type S, it's going to be way easier to get a Type S.
Okay.
Because they're made in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So they just ship it down the road.
Oh, good
basically.
to know. Yeah. Okay, so motor strong, front wheel drive, kicks hard, especially when you're starting to pull it. Tell me about your dash. I mean, the way it lights up with the Acura logo and all that. Like, is that standard?
Yeah. So that it just comes with it. There's
Yeah.
not really too many like optional things you can get for the car besides like the carbon fiber stuff on the mirror caps, the spoiler, and the wheels that I have.
Yeah,
Those are like the optional accessories.
Yeah, those
but
wheels look great.
they look awesome.
As does
they
the
look
red
really
interior.
good. Yeah.
That's really
And so
good.
that's one of three.
Yeah.
That's also like how Honda and Toyota, they just give you, or they give the dealership whatever cars they get, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just random. So I got lucky with the red and white. I think it looks pretty good.
So you didn't have to order yours.
No, so you can't order them.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Whatever they get at the dealership is just what they
That's
have.
the allocation. And
Yep. The salesman that I worked with, there's the one that I bought, which was like the test drive car for like the first month that they had on the lot.
Yeah.
And then he said they got 3 more for the rest of the year at like various intervals.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he had no idea what they're going to look like, what accessories they had,
my goodness.
when they were going to come in. All he knows is that Acura said, hey, you're getting 3 more.
So if you want one, you may have to compromise on color
Yeah.
or some other maybe
Color
some of the
or
other
accessories.
options. Accessories, yeah. Oh, that'd be tough. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because especially like we were in the market for the TRX. I mean, like we had our heart set on white and this and that.
These
like,
accessories.
Yeah,
and specific,
yeah. And you
Yep.
didn't want to settle. You know, especially, I mean, it's still a lot. Car prices today seem insane to me. But you don't want to compromise at any level.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's like,
especially when you're
man,
paying that much.
Yeah, you're paying that
It's
much.
Like, I want to get my value.
What I want. Yeah, and I want to, like, my dad had said to me once, he's like, the worst thing ever is walking out to your driveway and paying on a car you hate.
Yeah.
Knowing there's nothing you can do about it. Because you're either upside down or
stuck with it.
Stuck with it. You need at least another year and a half to get enough equity.
And it's funny you mentioned that too, because that's part of the reason I went with the Integra Type S, is I knew it'd keep its value.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with the WRX. They resell like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I bought mine for 32, 33, and I traded in and I got, I think, 26 for it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I had it for 2 years, put 20,000 miles on it. Yeah.
Man.
Barely dropped in value.
There's some niche vehicles out there that just continue to do that.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't seem to lose.
Yeah,
like
they just hang on to it.
Toyota Tacomas.
Yeah,
Subarus.
Subarus,
yeah, stuff like that.
Civics even, they're expensive still.
Dang.
If you, I looked at some used ones, just because like, oh, why not? They're surprisingly expensive.
Dang.
Yeah.
And like I've driven many Civics and there's not much to them.
No, but that's why they're so great.
You know,
it's because there's not much to them. Yeah.
God, what am I paying for? I guess you're just paying for that reliability.
It's not overdone. There's no craziness in there.
Yeah.
And speaking of not overdone, the interior on the Type S, it's the same, pretty much the same as the Civic Type R.
Okay.
I think the dash and all that's the exact same.
Okay.
But it's so simple. Like when I drove the Audis, there's so many like edges and lines and craziness, and there's like 3 screen, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the Type S, like you have your 3 knobs for your AC, you got your screen for your infotainment, and physical buttons to go along with that too.
That's nice.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the Golf R, that's all, at least this current generation, it's all haptic buttons,
Okay. Yeah.
all hidden behind screens.
Oh man.
Same thing with the new Mustang.
Kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, and with the new Mustang, it was almost dangerous because like the climate control, to change it was in the screen, so you had to touch it.
Okay.
And then when you moved it, it lagged.
Oh.
So you changed the temperature, and it was a slider too.
Oh,
so it wasn't like you're picking an arrow.
Right,
you like slide it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so slow. It'd take like you drag it and like 2 seconds, then it'd go.
In the modern
was
age,
frustrating.
that is a no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's ridiculous.
Knob it all day long.
Yeah, just give me like a little physical control.
Yeah, exactly.
And the knobs are nice and clicky too. Like you click, click, and it's super satisfying.
Good feedback. Yeah. Yeah. Is this the same for your stereo system? Is it have a knob
Yes.
too?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And does your, I know, kind of a weird question. Does it have a CD player? Is that a thing anymore in new cars?
No.
Yeah, I don't think the TRX has one either.
I don't know.
Actually, I don't know.
I think my WRX had one. The original head unit, I took it out and replaced it because the original was so underpowered. It sounded terrible.
Okay.
Even just replacing the head unit made it sound like twice as good.
Okay, well that's a good point. So your WRX system, you had to do some sound system upgrades.
Immediately, yeah.
What about this one?
Oh, this one's great.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to do is replace the subwoofer. Not even because it's bad.
Okay.
I just like a ton of bass in my car.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to swap it out. It's not necessary by any means. Make sure that's clear.
Right,
it's great.
Yeah.
But I like more bass.
Yeah.
So I want to swap it out.
And is this subwoofer in the car or in the trunk? Do you know?
Yeah, so it's built into the side of the trunk. So if you open up the lift back on the right side, there's like a little spot where it's built in.
Gotcha. Yeah. Is it like an 8-inch or 10? Do you know?
I think it's a 10-inch.
10-inch. Yeah. Dang. Wow. I'll give it to him. That's crazy.
It's pretty good.
Okay, so since your car is based on another more luxury version, can we say that? Is that fair? Or
so mine's the luxury version
of
the Civic Type R.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you get all the creature comforts of a higher end car, like seat memories?
So that's one thing that doesn't come with that I do wish it did, is the seat memory. It has heated seats, which is great.
Okay.
It doesn't have a heated steering wheel just because it's Alcantara, so it doesn't get cold or hot anyways, just the material, which is also super nice, by the way.
Yeah.
That's also an accessory.
Oh,
that's,
okay.
Yeah, that's not always with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has heated seats, which the Civic Type R does not have. It has the power seat, which the Civic Type R doesn't have either.
Okay.
It doesn't have seat memory, even though by the door handle there's the panel for seat memory, like literally right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's just the same door panel that they took from like the TLX or something, and then just pop that piece in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh crap, we gotta cover it with something.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder then if you could down the road, if some
it might be
ingenuity,
possible, some kind of connections to.
if it even bothers you that much.
Yeah, I mean it's more of just like an annoyance sometimes, like dropping off at the dealership. And they change the seating, and then I'm like, oh my god, I gotta fix it. When I just could hit the button.
Yeah.
But,
no, I appreciate those things. Like, I appreciate the littlest details anymore in cars, like rain sensing wipers. I love that.
That has it too.
It has it too. Okay.
Oh, and speaking of the wipers, it also has the Mercedes wipers where like the stuff comes out of the blade.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
It does that. Whoa.
It doesn't spray; it comes out of the blade.
Nice. That's clean.
It's really cool.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. Like automatic high beams.
Yep. It's got that too. Mm-hmm.
Like anymore, I'm like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
I can't live
All
without
the little
it.
niceties. It's awesome.
Like I feel so like when I have to turn the knob and like green bean or something else, I'm like
a caveman.
Yeah, like a caveman. Yeah, like ooh.
Living in the Stone Age.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so how about the back seats? You know, like plenty of room for your friends?
Yeah, so there's lots of room back there actually. It's only 2 seats in the back.
Oh.
It's not 3, so it's a 4-seater.
Okay.
The middle seat is like just a pretty narrow spot, more just to rest stuff, or I think you can pull down. Maybe not. I don't remember. You can pull down the little thing to rest your arm or cups, whatever.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely not built in mind to have people in the back seats. It's just like, well, it's a 4-door, so we need to have some space. Yeah. But it's pretty spacious. Okay. There's plenty of room.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I noticed your 2 brothers in the back didn't seem to complain.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They're normal height people. So yeah, okay. And then the trunk space, how would you deem that?
The trunk space is awesome because of the lift back. Yeah. It can go all the way to the seats, and then you have the curve, so it's more space. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, like luggage and...
You fit anything back there. And then the seats even fold down, too. So if you need more space...
So you could probably, like, legitimately go to Costco and buy one of those big TVs and get it back there. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
'Cause that's always, like... I don't know why, but that's my measurement in cars. Like,
fit a TV.
How embarrassed am I gonna be at Costco buying a TV?
Putting furniture in there, or like IKEA.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's the measurement. Yeah. Where am I at on that scale?
And it's awesome. And the Civic Type R is the same way too.
Okay.
It also has the lift back, and maybe the normal Civic might have it too. And then normal Integra.
Okay.
I think they also have the lift back. I think that should just be.
I think it looks great.
Standard. It looks really good, and it gives you way more space too.
Yeah. No, the body lines on. I mean, as you can see for yourself, the body lines on it are just fantastic.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, really good.
Really, really good.
The emblem on the front of your grill, does that light up?
It does, yep. Yeah. So I think that's also optional, I want to say.
Okay.
I don't know if it's optional with the Type S, but I know it is with other Acura cars. Yeah. Because otherwise they have like that kind of weird front license plate looking thing on there with the Acura symbol. Yeah. But yeah, the one I have, it's blacked out. So I also have the blacked out badges. Okay. So all the Type S is black. The Acura symbol's black, all of it. And then it lights up at night.
Yeah, it has like a nice glow to it.
Yeah, it looks really good too.
It looks really good. Yeah. Little touches.
Exactly.
I may not be seeing it inside the car.
I was going to say, I don't see it, but
I know it looks cool.
I know someone else sees it.
Yeah, that's what matters, yeah. And your wheels, I mean, are these standard wheels or are these upgrades too?
Those are also an accessory. Okay. They're optional, yeah.
And the tires?
The tires, they're the Michelin Sport or the PS4S's. Yeah, Pilot Sport 4S's. Okay. Those just come with it. Oh, okay. And they're supposedly like the compound for these specifically, like Acura made just for the Type S.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how true that is or if they even change much at all.
Gotcha.
But they're supposedly are.
Yeah. The wheels complement the car like, oh my God.
Awesome. Yeah. They look so good. I mean, I love WRXs since I was a kid, so bronze wheels are.
They're just it. Yeah. Actually, it's funny you say that. I saw a Toyota, one of their mid-size sedans. I don't even, I can't anymore. It's like, is that a Corolla or is that a Civic?
Right. Yeah.
It was black at the dealership with bronze wheels.
And
I was
really?
Like, whoa!
That's pretty
cool. It just caught my attention. That looks so good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of it too. Whenever you can work it in, I think it looks so good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. And tell us about the 3-tip exhaust.
So the exhaust looks awesome.
Yeah.
Insert a photo here or video. Yeah. And it sounds really good too because the car has the 3 modes. It's got Comfort, Sport Plus, or Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. If you know the Civic Type R, they're like all one step below the Type R modes. Okay. So like the Type R has like R Plus, Sport, and Comfort, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And the Integras are like one step below. So the Sport Plus in my Integra is like the Sport in Type R.
Oh, gotcha.
And the Sport is like the Comfort. And then my Comfort's like an extra level of comfort below the Type R.
Okay.
But the comfort of my car, super soft suspension. The steering is super soft. Like it's made to be like the luxury mode, where if you're just cruising down a highway or if you're just chilling, put it in comfort. The exhaust gets super quiet. Like you barely even hear it. You can still hear it some in the car because they have a little bit of like the fake engine noise piped in, so you can hear something. Sport is like a neutral. It's a little bit louder than comfort, but it kind of stiffens suspension a little bit. The auto response is a little better. And then you put into Sport Plus, and it completely opens the valves, so it's as loud as it can be. It turns on all the pops and bangs and crackles sound awesome.
Yeah,
That's addicting
the crackles
too.
are
Just revving it at the same range.
God,
And
yeah.
super fun.
It really makes you want to constantly
be in that range all the time. And that's also where you have a ton of torque too. So you're like, whoa, getting pushed back
and
whenever
then
you, and then it pops. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
Well, let's take a listen to
tune
that.
perfectly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it sounded pretty awesome.
That's
right?
pretty good,
yeah,
right?
It sounded really good.
No, I love it. And anymore, like, I mean, in my generation, coming up with like '90s cars, you know, like and stuff, the whole idea of like an exhaust that would pop means your car was falling apart. You know, now it's like, no, it's like a built-in thing.
Yeah, now it's cool.
That's cool.
It comes from the factory
and
like
it's
that.
safe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're not actually blowing
up your
car
engine.
Yeah. Or like active exhaust now on some cars, you know, and stuff. And I don't know if your car is an active exhaust car. It seems to, I don't know why in my ear when we drive it, I tend to hear an exhaust note change when you change modes, but that could just be because the motor's now.
It is. Yeah. So whenever you change the mode, that determines.
It does.
So the exhaust is linked to the throttle response too.
Okay.
So if the individual mode, you can like set each piece of what you want. So if you want the steering to be super tight, but then you want the suspension to be soft.
Okay.
The exhaust, if you set that to comfort, it's the quietest and the least amount of throttle response.
Gotcha.
So you can really push it and you're not really going too crazy fast.
Yeah.
And then when you put into sport, exhaust mode makes it louder and a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And when you hit it Sport Plus, that makes it the loudest. It opens up the valves.
Okay.
And then also gives you the max throttle response.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the individual mode I really like, so you can really define, you know, your driving experience. You're not limited to what the factory's given
Exactly.
you. You're like, you can really dive in there.
And tune it just to, because I keep it pretty much on Sport Plus, but I just change the suspension to comfort. Because it's kind of stiff if you have it in Sport Plus. Yeah. But in comfort, it's nice and smooth.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Same thing in the TRX. I keep the suspension soft, but then everything tuned out of its mind.
Maxed out.
Like just to go. Yeah, that's interesting. So like, you know, when you're buying these cars, are you at all concerned about, I mean, it's a Honda product at the end of the day. It's going to run forever like a Toyota and some other brands. What was your warranty like? Or did you have to buy an extra warranty?
So the warranty is actually pretty awesome. If I remember right, it's like 6 years or 72,000 miles.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming from the WRX, the WRX was like half that.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 30,000 miles, I think,
the
somewhere around there.
36 or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, this one.
And that's bumper to bumper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then I also got the ceramic coating from the dealership.
Okay.
Which I think was like $2,000 or something.
Okay, yeah.
But the ceramic coating, not only is it ceramic for the whole car, it's lifetime for the vehicle.
Okay.
So forever.
Yeah.
And then the service, so I have a paint chip on the bumper right now, actually.
Okay.
And once I get it fixed, all I do is just call them, and they'll come out to me to fix it.
Oh, nice.
They'll sand it down right there and paint it up.
Whoa.
And, for free, completely free.
Oh
and it covers inside too.
What?
So any scuffs, scrapes, anything inside, same thing, and they'll come and fix it up.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I noticed that around your shifter, you have like a black piano piece. And I felt bad because every time I'd move my hand or touch it, it was like
it gets it all smudged and gross.
Yeah. Is that standard? Can you, if you wanted to even change that, I guess you could. Or...
I think you can change it. I'm pretty sure it just pops off because there's like a couple pins here and there. You have to pop it off to get to the transmission and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does smudge super easily.
Yeah.
Just because it's piano black. You know, it's hard
it
not
looks
to.
good.
It looks when it's clean, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
But
it'd drive you crazy.
Exactly.
Or it could, anyways.
Yeah, and I think I do plan on popping it off and putting like a more like almost like this.
Like
matte finish. Or even like the same texture that's on the dashboard.
Like that carbon fiber look.
Yeah, carbon-esque.
Yeah, it's carbon-esque.
I think that looked good too because it didn't match.
Yeah, for sure. One of the funny things too, as I drove it was, I got in and I don't drive a standard every day, right? So I don't think twice about it. I just grab it and grab the stick shift. And your knob was so freaking cold. I'm like, what the heck?
That one is also accessory.
It was just caught me so off guard.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
That knob is a throwback to the original Integras.
Oh.
Yeah, so when the first ones came out, they had that full steel knob. And so that one they put in
I had no idea that was the
throwback.
thing. Yeah. Huh.
Normally it's pretty similar, except the middle has like a black, like rubbery, grippy to it almost.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, it looks great. It just caught my, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's freezing, and when it's hot outside too, it's hot.
It gets pretty hot.
Yeah, it cools down pretty quick though, but so you're not like really too burning yourself. But yeah.
Yeah, and you're actually that's a great point too. Like some cars, their air conditioning systems are obnoxious. Like you can't hear your stereo anymore. You're like, oh my god, how is like thinking back on your WRX, your Golf, and now this? How would you? Is comparable or?
I think they were all pretty close. The WRX was a little loud. WRX in general is just a little bit more of a rougher, like bare bones car, which some people like. They want that just that full on like. Yeah. I want this to feel as, you know, standard as possible type of thing. Yeah. But I think my Integra is a little bit quieter. The GTI's wasn't bad actually. Okay. I think just because it also was like the higher trim, it was like the Autobahn edition or something. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty nice, and it cools down really quick, heats up fast. It has the auto mode too. Yeah. It'll change which direction stuff is going and turn off, you know, whatever. Right. It does magic. Yeah. Makes it work.
Well, I also noticed like in here, take a listen for yourself. The road noise on the freeway is fantastic.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. You can have a conversation and not in the WRX on the highway. Like me and my girlfriend, we'd yell to talk. You know, we're like trying to have a conversation. Yeah. And when we got the car, got on the highway to go home, the first thing we both said, we're like, "Oh my god, it's so quiet. I can think and I can talk. I didn't have to crank up my volume all the way. Like I can leave it at the normal amount." Right. And like in the settings too, I changed it so the stereo gets a little bit louder at high speeds, like the noise compensation. Yeah. But it's awesome. Dang. It's all clear still too. Yeah. Because not only is it like at a normal level, but you can figure out what they're saying.
Yeah. That's huge. And I notice your sound system is very clear. You know, I'm not fighting to try to hear the words. I feel like there's only a few guys out there that do car reviews, and when they talk about the sound system, it's either like, oh, it's good or could be better. Yeah. And for my money, like when I'm shopping or interested in a car, I like the little details. So like in this case, I really like or appreciate your sound system, how like I can hear the words, whatever the genre we're listening to. You know, it's just like, oh man, okay.
Yeah, it's not good in one spot and then bad in another. It's consistent across.
It's consistent. Yeah, like wherever you're at in the car and it just feels good and feels good around you. Speaking of feeling good around you, I love when we corner in that thing, like, and the awesome seats. Like, grip me.
Yeah, they keep you. They keep you right where you are. Yeah, keep me. And they're not even as bolstered as the Civics.
Yeah, and they're not obtrusive either.
Yeah, no, you can get in and out just fine.
You think you would be? Like,
yeah, you got plenty of space.
Yeah, you're good. They can't say enough about those because we've taken some corners down in Mexico pretty fast. And man, you're just like upright and off you go.
You're stuck in your spot.
Yeah, it's like,
and the car feels so planted too. Like there's no body roll when you're going around. It's perfect.
Yeah, it feels like it's on rails without being too harsh.
Exactly.
Yeah, which I can appreciate because like living in Germany, you know, driving a lot of high-end cars back then for my old job for what I did there. Germany has a lot of their cars dialed in, and that's kind of my expectation. And so being in your Acura, it's up there.
It's awesome.
They took a page out of the Germans, or the Germans took, I don't know how that worked. But
borrowed from each other or something.
Yeah, because it's working really good. Yeah. So any plans? Are you going to new exhaust or change anything? Or do anything?
I think for the time being, I'm going to leave it as is. The one thing that's tempting is a downpipe just to make it a little bit louder. You know, always like it louder, just like the sub. Like I don't need it, but it would be cool. It would be cool.
Came my way.
Exactly. And maybe down the line, once I get like another car is like a more consistent. I mean, this is a consistent daily. Yeah. But just as like, I'll drive that car daily, and the Integra I can now mod and kind of mess with it and not worry about it so much.
Makes sense.
Tuning it, obviously. The guy that I bought my Integra from, he has one now too. Okay. He had his eye on one. He said if I didn't buy this, he would have bought it.
Oh, okay.
So the next one that came in, he got it.
You're like writing a check.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, but he already tuned his, and I rode in his, and his is making almost 400 horsepower now. Dang. Just tuned downpipe and maybe something else, but really not much at all. Like pretty straightforward. Yeah. And making almost 400, and we went on a test drive, and like in first gear, no traction at all, which was fun because it's like, oh my god, this thing's fast. Yeah. Second gear, the beginning of it, not much traction, and then it just takes off. Dang. It's an entirely new car. Wow. It's already fast.
Yeah,
but then with that, it was like, oh my god. Kidding. Yeah, I was like, really push back into the seat.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now, did he change any tires or anything too to try to
No.
accommodate? He just
Nope.
everything like
As is. Yeah. Just the tune, the downpipe, and maybe one other thing. But
dang.
yeah.
Dang, that's awesome. Well, I tell you what, I think it's a fantastic car. I guess you would recommend anyone in the market.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
If you're looking for something that has space in it, it's got the lift back, you know, back row of seats just in case.
yeah.
You know, some more functional, daily driven.
Yeah.
Like on the way up here, I got 33, 34.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
34 miles to the gallon on the highway.
Dang,
So
dang.
you can cruise it and get good
Yeah.
good mileage.
Yeah.
If that's something you're looking for, best of both worlds, but then also have fun when you want to,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I love the dichotomy of like, it's fast and quick, two different things, but it's got both, and you can park up front in the store.
Yeah, it's just a normal size car.
Yeah.
You just park wherever you want.
Yeah.
You can whip it in,
Yeah.
back out, back in.
Like when
Yeah.
I kind of look down the body lines, you can see for yourself too. It almost looks like a little bit of a wide body going on.
So it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So the
Oh,
normal
okay.
Integra, if you like compare them side by side, it has a wide body compared to the
Oh,
normal.
okay.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah,
look.
so it's just a little bit wider.
Yeah, it's just subtle enough, but you're like,
Yeah, it looks so
what is
good,
going on
too.
here?
Looks
But again,
awesome.
it's not obtrusive.
Exactly. It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
Again, you're at the front of the
Very
parking
refined.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
everywhere. Are there any like plans in the future outside of those mods we talked about to keep it, sell it? Are you looking at a different car already? Like, what is your?
So for the time being, I'm going to keep it. I mean, I just got it. So
just
I
got
keep
it,
it for
yeah.
a while. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Down the line, a couple of years, I'd like to get a Porsche.
Yeah.
You know, ultimate goal, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But until then, I think I'm going to keep it. Unless something new comes out that
Yeah.
just blows it out of the water. Because at this point, I mean, like I said, I test drove
Yeah.
how many Audis and Teslas
Yeah,
and
the
whatever.
Mach 1, right?
The
or-
Mach 1,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
cool car, but daily driver, not so much.
Yeah,
Like, this just fits every single criteria
Yeah,
so perfectly.
yeah.
I'm not giving up like another category just because it's like, oh, it kind of sucks here, but it's good here. Like
yeah.
it just hits every box.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it really ticks them all. It ticks them all for me. If I was in the market for, I mean, that would be
Yeah.
top of the list. Like, for you guys out there watching, like we came up, if you would, with smaller cars. You know, living in Europe, so that small, fast car was always fun
Yep.
and intriguing. When we lived in the States, we had several neons that we just wrung out, and they were just so fun.
Yeah, because
you
they're
know?
so small. You
So
just zip them
small,
around and
yeah.
hit corners and
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we'd make neons. I mean, Porsches would blush around it, like, oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
whoa.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like being able to take that, graduate into like a professional,
Yeah.
smaller car with all the power still. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet.
It just does it.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking about your car
Yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, and we'll check back in with you. see
Yep,
when
for
you-
sure. What
see
mods
how
I
you're
have
doing.
on it by
Yeah,
next time.
what mods
Yeah.
you have next
Yep.
time, and when you get that Porsche.
Oh,
Let us
yes.
know.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Until then, stay driven.
Stay driven.